Hi everyone, this is Karla Dornacher, and today I wanted to share with you how I colored the November free printable that's available in the Hidden Treasures printable library on my website. And the reason is because when I started to color it, I realized how challenging it was to get that variegated color on those leaves. So I thought I would just share with you how I did it and what I learned along the way. So let's get started. So the first thing I decided was that I wanted the thin leaves to have a turquoise tint to them. And so I did this in using 3 different pencils. I'll list the pencil numbers down below, but in the blog post. But I first, I laid down a base, a nice smooth base of a celadon green, and all the pencils I used are Prismacolors. And even though I actually recorded my adding the other 2 layers, something messed up. So I don't have those. But what I did was once I laid down that base coat, I took a cobalt turquoise and I started at the tips, at the very base of the leaf, and then again at the tip of the leaf. And you can see here that the more turquoise color is on the tips. And then I used the lime peel, just a touch of it in the center. And it gives it a nice variegated color. I wanted my berries to be a little on the orange side rather than bright red. And so I put down a base of Deco Yellow first, and then came in with the crimson red. And you can see I'm coloring just like a circle around the tip there so that you can still see the yellow, and then just filling the rest of it with the red and making it just darker, adding a little more pressure at the base and making it a little darker there. So now to the oak leaves, and this is where I initially had my challenge, and so I did a little practicing before I actually started on this finished piece. And so what I wanted to do was to alternate around the wreath with the yellow orange and then alternate with the more green orange. So I started by laying down a base of Deco Yellow for the leaves that I wanted to be more of the orangey color with some red highlights. And then I used the lime peel to lay down a base for the leaves that were going to be more of the greens and oranges. I did find that rotating the page around made it a lot easier, just because I found it best to start adding the second layer of color starting at the base and working my way out. So for the orange, more orangey leaves, I'm using the just a straight orange, and again working from the base and pulling that color out, and I'm using a light pressure here just to be able to blend that orange with the yellow below, but leaving lots of that yellow showing through. So, and that's how you're going to get that variegation. The great thing about doing it this way is that each leaf is going to be unique because you're going to leave, you're not going to follow that same pattern with every leaf. So it's very random. And so once you get that first layer of orange down, and again with that light pressure and working in circles, those little tiny circles to keep it blended, now you can go back in and add a little more pressure. And so again, you're adding to that variegated look. You've got the soft yellow, you've got a light orange, and now you're adding that layer of a deeper, darker orange. That you can start to see that that fall variegated look is beginning to happen. And now to pump up the color, I use the crimson red again to go in and just add some punch in different places, again allowing the orange now to show through in places as well as the yellow. So once you have your base layers all down, it's kind of fun to go back in and add some extra brightness with a little more pressure with both the orange and the yellow. Just brightens up those certain areas. And you can also see that by coming back in with that yellow, it's really helping to blend the orange and the red all together. And I even wanted to add just a touch of green to each of those leaves, just so that they kind of complement the more green leaves around. So I'd pull that green all the way around the wreath. So now we're going to finish up the wreath by adding a little variegation to those green leaves. And I'm starting off here. I've already laid that base color of the lime peel, and I'm using moss green to add the variegation. And again, just randomly here and there, starting at the base and working out, getting darker at the base, but leaving a lot of that lime peel green showing through. So at this point, just to finish them off and again have them to complement the more orangey red leaves, I came back in with a touch of orange. You could also bring in a touch of red. So it brightens up the green leaves and again just makes them complement the other ones. So there you have it, your finished variegated leaf wreath encircling a declaration of our hearts to give thanks to the Lord. And we give thanks to the Lord because he is good and he is worthy of our praise and our thanksgiving. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll be able to use some of those tips Also, I hope that you'll want to download your own Give Thanks free printable from the Hidden Treasures Printable Library on my website. And just thanks again for watching, and Lord bless you. Bye for now.